Welcome home, Red Pack Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons. This is another 2 a.m. film session with Marcus. I have this big box here in store for us that I cannot wait. Some brand new stuff to add to the collection. It is 100% filled with vintage SpongeBob items. There are some absolutely classic, nostalgic items that I can't wait to share with you guys. But there's also one item in here that I'm really, well, actually 2 items I'm really pumped for. But one that is just like, what the heck, that we were able to add this to the collection, and it is a VHS from Germany. Yes, that Germany. So we are gonna get right on into it. Let's check it out and see what we got here. And of course, we'll be evaluating the entire value of the box as well too, to see if we made more value than what we paid for it. I paid around $120, and I'm pretty sure we are going to destroy that number here today. I got this box from the same person I got the last box we did on this channel. We did it fantastic on that box too. They've given us some incredible value in these things. So let's take a look, like I said, and see what we have here. Oh, the VHS is like right on the top actually. So there was a couple items that they weren't even sure about putting in the lot, and they were actually like the rarest items of them all, and I was like, yeah, throw those in there, please. But out the gate here we have this SpongeBob tablecloth. I don't know everything in here, so it looks like this is a SpongeBob tablecloth, like one for like birthday parties and stuff like that. Oh dude, this is so sick. I had 2 SpongeBob birthday parties as a kid. I don't know if this is the one that I had. I still want to go through my mom's garage to try to find those photos from those birthday parties, because it would be nice to know like which one of these tablecloths I had. But I mean, this one looks really familiar to me, but it's also a lot of like really early green label stock imaging, so it could just look familiar to me because, you know, this also kind of reminds me of like the SpongeBob wallpaper trimming that they had. This reminds me of like some of the lunch boxes, so it could be familiar just because I've seen a lot of these images in the past. But yeah, I don't know if that has a lot of value on it, but it is very, very cool. Nonetheless, how do I always end up with this pillow? This pillow is like in every single like lot and box that we open on this channel somehow. This iconic pillow here. I've mentioned this story every time I've shown this pillow. Like I said, my cousin used to have this pillow at his house, and I always thought it was so cool. And I had one for like, I don't even know, like I had one in here I use on my back of my chair. It's not here right now, I had to wash it. But I've had that on the chair here for like 2 years almost, I think, and within the last like 3 months we've acquired like 4 of this pillow. It seems like everybody had this pillow as a kid besides me, but it still has the fresh brand new green label tag on it, so that is definitely a banger item. This will probably be something I give away or put over on my Whatnot stream, so if you guys are interested, go check it out, as well as any other doubles I get. Ooh, I always love some vintage SpongeBob clothing. What do we have here? So it's a little small but this is a vintage Universal Studios SpongeBob shirt, and it says, "Go SpongeBob, go SpongeBob, go self." But because of the dawn of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who's like very into vintage clothing, especially wearing clothes that they weren't even like alive to have possibly worn, a lot of vintage SpongeBob shirts and like Nickelodeon ones in general can be like, could you not, like several hundreds of dollars. Not saying this one is, it can be $50, $100, but there are some that are like, depending on the context of them, it can be several $100. So it's really hard for me to ever find any vintage SpongeBob shirts. So whenever I'm able to get one in, you know, like, I'm super grateful. So this is so cool, the vintage SpongeBob Universal Studios shirt. Like I said, it could be like, you know, some shirts are like $20, $30. It doesn't have to be like one of those super expensive ones. I don't know yet, but there are some like that, and it's just like unbelievable to me. Because a lot of these shirts were like Walmart shirts, the ones that you get at the store, and they probably made hundreds of, not thousands of them, but because it was so affordable, I think people treated them as disposable maybe, so there's not as many available. I don't know. I actually have another item in here, but I'm gonna actually grab out the item I wanted to see like immediately, and that is this. So this is SpongeBob, bro, I don't even know how I would even begin to say that. SpongeBob SquarePants? The SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. Maybe the P silent. Any Germans in the chat, let me know if that was accurate or if it was absolutely terribly off.
SpongeBob Schwammkopf.
But this is volume 1 here, and this is what the tape looks like. I don't know if it's like region locked. Like with DVDs, for example, a lot of them can be what's called region locked. So it means if you play it on a US DVD player versus like a European DVD player, you can play some on one, some on another, unless you have a universal DVD player, which can play everything. I don't know if VHS have that kind of restriction on it though, but you can see the tape right here, and like, you know, over here, like all of them were made by Paramount, but over here, this one's made by Polyband. And then the box here says Togo. And what made me super interested in getting this one in particular, they had volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. And I did have to pay separately for this one, about 30 bucks. But the reason I picked this one over those ones is because this is volume 1. And if you look on the back here, you can actually see an iconic screenshot here of SpongeBob writing down the shopping list that Mr. Krabs gives him in Help Wanted. So this tape actually has the German dubbing of Help Wanted, which is insane because in the English VHSs, we never got Help Wanted, I believe, on any VHS. On DVDs, we did get them as like a special add-on and stuff like that. But it's so sad, so sad, I mean, so good for them, but sad for us that we never got Help Wanted on VHS. So the only way to watch a VHS, probably the closest to the air date quality, you know, not being kind of like restored slightly for DVD, is on the German version. And I have no clue what SpongeBob sounds like in German, but Ryan's gonna put up a clip on screen for you guys.
Das Ablecken von Türknöpfen ist auf anderen Planeten illegal.
And I also love that it came in like this clamshell design too, which again was not in any of the SpongeBob VHSs besides the movie. So that is an item I'm so happy to be able to add to the collection. There are so many like overseas, German, Japanese, Chinese SpongeBob VHSs and DVDs. It would have to be like, that'd have to be your specialty in its own. Probably one of the best SpongeBob media collections I've ever seen is from a member of this community, an awesome SpongeBob collector himself, which is from Aspen Collects, or aka SpongeBob King. He has an insane over like, you know, kind of like universal DVD and VHS collection, because there's so many that has to honestly be your specialty in order to like acquire all of those. But one with Help Wanted on it, I had to get. Okay, so back into this bag here, we have some other stuff as well too. There is, and these colors are so rich. Like, look at how rich these freaking colors are. Have you seen a richer color than this? Look at how rich Steven Hillenburg's signature is right there. And this is from Universal Studios as well. Oh my goodness, dude. And it still has the tag on it down there, so that's a tag, brand new, never been used. Like that in itself, you could hang up as like a tapestry for sure. You got the OG logo down there. I like the colors, dude. It's like this was kept in an Egyptian tomb to like keep the colors as bright as they are. Man, if you look at how rich freaking Squidward is here, that blue, dude. If you washed this, the freaking water would look like a Trix yogurt. Like there's no way this wouldn't bleed. And back in the day at Universal Studios, this was $19.99. That sounds like a lot for a towel, but for an amusement park towel, I bet you this towel today would cost you like $29.99, maybe even like $39.99. Again, I know that sounds crazy, but we live in a crazy world. That's freaking absolutely fire right there, top tier. But there we go. We'll add up all the values. They'll pop up on screen for you guys as we're doing this. I don't know what the values are, but we will see together at the end of this haul here. You guys will see it the whole time, but I'll find out at the end. Okay, next up here, these are some of the vintage SpongeBob plushies. There's actually this set as well as this set, and believe it or not, I do not have all of these in the collection. These are probably some of the best SpongeBob plushies to represent the characters and are also nostalgic and vintage. You know, there's some really good ones now, but when it comes to the OG days, these are kind of where it's at. So let's see here. We have Squidward here. Like, look at how iconic this is. He screams nostalgia, dude. He's got the wire neck, arm, and legs to be posable. He's actually able to stand straight up in my palm here. Oh my goodness, dude. And this has the green label tag. This is from the year 2000. So basically SpongeBob wasn't even out likely for more than a full year, making this is probably the earliest SpongeBob plushies to ever be released. I only have in my collection, I think, the SpongeBob and the Mr. Krabs, but they don't have the tag on them. So this is like, it's just like basics I should have had in the collection. I have quite the collection, as you guys know, but like some of the basic essentials that slipped by me for so many years. And this was back in the day, this was $9.95. It's actually kind of a lot, I feel like, too, even back then. And then next up here, we have the Bob. And yes, we have him. Does Squidward have this? He has this little like tag here on top that you can hang him up like on the racks themselves, but you can see the 2000 tag there. He's got the faux leather shoes there, hard plastic eyes, and yes, this is the earliest SpongeBob plushie ever, being from 2000. We have only the body pillow that is the other 2000 item as well. And these are all made by Color Block, who made a lot of the first SpongeBob product. Eventually we got like Mattel and some of the bigger brands doing it, but Color Block made quite a bit of the first wave of SpongeBob stuff. And dang, did they do a good job, you know, for not being like a Hasbro or a Kenner or Mattel or something like big. They kind of killed it, you know what I mean? Like they give us memorable, high quality, well maybe not Patrick, but high quality plushies that represent the characters. We have Patrick here. He does not look the best. He kind of has this like upper lip here. I think that Patrick season 1 was like at his most derpiest. Like Ryan put a picture of season 1 Patrick versus season 14 Patrick on screen here, and you guys can see a vast difference. Dare I say that this Patrick looks dumber, but he was actually more intelligent, and due to flanderization of characters over time, it's just something that happens, whether it's good or bad. This Patrick looks like he would be smarter, but he's actually way dumber. This one had like 5 brain cells. This one has like a half of one. And I love how his shorts are so low. It's like his butt is gonna pop out at any second. And those shorts do go all the way through, so we could get a naked Patrick fairly easily from this. But those aren't even the best ones. I think those are really good, but I'm saving the best for last. Next up here, no tag unfortunately, so I still need to get this one with the tag on it. But we got Mr. Crizzy, Mr. Krabby, Mr. Armor Abs, Mr. These claws ain't for just mating, Mr. Krabs. He's got his little fabric eyelashes there, you can see. He's a pretty good one. I mean, Mr. Krabs is always kind of a tough character to make in plush form. The wires are kind of a must in his eyes. I hate when they make the plushies and they just kind of flop everywhere. You need to add the wiring into the plush, which I noticed they are more and more like afraid to use wiring in plushes nowadays, just because of the fact that like if kids play with them long enough, you do have this sharp piece of metal that starts to come out of the plush. So I'm noticing more and more companies not doing that, sadly. I'm just looking at a couple of reference plushies that could have very well utilized that. So I'm really glad that feature is added in here. Back in the day, you know, back in the day, we weren't afraid to poke our eye out. You know, back in the day, we weren't afraid to accidentally take a Mr. Krabs eye to the kidney, you know? But this is the best one. Unfortunately, this one is really hard to get in good condition because of the material her outfit is made out of. It just kind of disintegrates over time. But this is, in my opinion, the best Sandy Cheeks plushie to ever be released. And I'm so glad to finally add one to the collection that doesn't have a dent in her head. I do have this one, but her dome has a dent in it. And that dome is like the #1 reason why I think this is the best Sandy plush to ever be released. And it was the first one. And that is Sandy Cheeks here. She looks absolutely fantastic. The dome here is crystal clear. You got the flower put onto the dome. She's got the fur tail coming out, which is actually pretty notable because when Sandy first appeared in Sandy's Tree Dome, we'll play a clip from that, you can see Sandy's tail does not actually come out of her costume.
What do y'all call yourself?
So since this was from 2001, it could have been a chance where they got the style guide images and her tail just wasn't there, so they didn't make it like that, but it is there. And then of course you got the green label tag there, but you can see what I'm talking about on her body. The white like faux leather material that it's made out of is kind of falling apart. There's a lot of plushies that are, unfortunately, this happens to, most notably like SpongeBob, and a lot of plushies it happens to his feet. For Bear in the Big Blue House, his nose was made out of this material on many of his plushies, and a lot of the plushies today, they just don't even have the nose like as blue. It's just like a white like fabric texture. But if you look at her face in there, could you ask for a more perfect Sandy Cheeks? That is absolutely 100% one of the best Sandys ever made. So I'm so glad to finally add this to the collection. If you guys can ever find one out there that doesn't have the body kind of disintegrated like this, I definitely would be interested. But at the same time, there's not even any scratches on her dome either. So it's like this give and take. Either you get the dome in great condition and the body has problems, or the body's great, but then the dome has scratches everywhere and is dented. But beautiful, beautiful piece here. So yeah, that's all those right there. I'm pretty sure that just those plushies are gonna pay for our whole haul here. I could be wrong, but those are all pretty collectible because they are the first ones and they look amazing. Okay, next up, randomly in here is the most modern item ever. There is a SpongeBob SquarePants jellyfishing Funko Pop that was designed by Rivet and Funko, I guess, to campaign to save jellyfish fields to raise awareness on climate change. So it was a, like, you know, environmental aspect, like donation type thing. It was fun. They're called Pops with a purpose. If you guys are interested, I'm going to be giving this guy away absolutely free over on my Whatnot stream. Again, if you guys haven't already, go sign up. You get $15 for free just for signing up. And when you do, you can enter into all my giveaways that I do every single Wednesday and Friday night. It is the most beneficial sponsor I possibly could pitch to you, so go check it out. And you could end up winning our SpongeBob here, as well as many other giveaways I do every single week. So next up here we have some SpongeBob watches, I believe, which I think all of these are, well, actually no, maybe not all of them, but a few of them are sealed. Is this the whole set? Yeah, I think this is the whole set. So we have Patrick watch here. I've shown these many times on the channel, so we'll use some shots from previous videos or from my archive channel where you guys can see some close-ups of them, but I'll show you the fronts of them at least. So we have the Patrick watch here. We have the SpongeBob watch. We have SpongeBob and Friends watch, which is my favorite one. And my second favorite one, we have the Plankton watch. These are all from the Burger King SpongeBob movie promotions. And there's one more, which is the Squidward watch here, of Squidward doing the thing. And that is the only one here that is not sealed, actually. So hopefully that's one of the ones I already have sealed. And then we will finally have a complete sealed set of these watches. And again, any of the extra ones or whatever doubles I have will be going over on the Whatnot stream. Whoa! Next up is this weird little box here. I have no clue what this is from. It's from 2001, and it's like a little cardboard like SpongeBob here that you can make. It says, insert this tab into the slot of the back of SpongeBob. So I guess it's just like something you were able to make from like a coloring book or something maybe. You know, kind of cool. We have two SpongeBob green label air fresheners. I'm not sure which of these I have and do not have, but they're very cool. We got two of those. I don't know why so many people collected these, because I do get these quite often. Outdoor breeze air fresheners. So if you want what an outdoor breeze would be like without having to go outside, bam, this is for you. We have this little bag here that's filled with a couple little like random items. One being like a whole roll of SpongeBob streamers. I am getting definite vibes that this person probably had a SpongeBob birthday party at some point and they just kept what was left over. A random set of SpongeBob shoelaces. Pretty cool item for a guy who only recently learned how to tie his shoes. And then this like suction cup like SpongeBob on a fishing pole with him with a jellyfishing net. I have no clue what this is for. Maybe to like stick on your mirror and it's kind of like this little hanging charm. I have no clue. And then we have two SpongeBob toys here. We have the SpongeBob House Party Patrick here, which is like a water game. And then we have the Gary SpongeBob House Party like kaleidoscope. But this item right here is one of the items I was also super pumped for. I had to get this one separately added because they were like, do you want me to ship this? Because there's a chance it could break and then, you know, it would ruin some other items. And I was like, I'm willing to risk it because I do not have this and I really need this. So this I'm going to pull out right now. But let me get the other version. There are several different SpongeBob vintage bubble baths. So there's these two right here, these like tall bottle ones. I really like these because they kind of pour out like so smooth, you know, that as a kid. But the cooler ones are, of course, the ones that have like the little figures on top. So this is the Blue Lagoon color, my favorite colors in the world after seeing this particular bubble bath. And it's got the SpongeBob taking the bath. And these were always advertised on the Nick magazines. This bottle and also now added this bottle. So now we have the ocean fruit shampoo here. So this is actually shampoo, whereas this one is bubble bath. So they are a little different actually. And you can see this one's like a really like unhealthy urine color or like a apple juice maybe. Not the, I definitely prefer the blue here, but you put these two next to each other and man, it just screams nostalgia for me all the time seeing those ads in Nick magazines as a kid. So to finally have the two physical products, you know, it couldn't make me happier. And I just like, it's so cool to be able to add items like this into the collection because like I said, it's almost one of those things that like every move, every time one's sold, every single time you run that risk of this thing leaking out and people just throwing them out. So to still have the shampoo in them is really what just makes it fantastic. So hyped to be able to add this finally to the collection, and that will be going on our green label shelf, of course. There's another bag of like mystery toys here. So we have this jellyfish riding Sandy here, which I don't even know how this works. Let's see here. So I guess she like vibrates. There's this little like thing inside of her that's like spinning around. You guys may be able to see it like this. You can see it down there kind of spinning. And I think this might be from the first ever SpongeBob toy line that was at Wendy's. I think I have these sealed, but not out of the box. We have Squidward here in his bath. Classic Squidward luck. And then we've got, some of these might be from the movie too, I'm thinking. Maybe not. This one's Gary and his tail comes like in and out, as well as his eyes like knocking backwards. We got one of my favorite, which is this SpongeBob little like spinner toy here. You can see it has all the ingredients like spinning, which is from a very iconic early SpongeBob image of him with like all the ingredients in the air as he's trying to juggle everything. And then we have this Patrick, which I think actually is a water toy that you put in the water and he actually kind of like propels backward with a very cool Bikini Bottom inner tube on him. And then a SpongeBob, and a sponge, not so as fitting, Patrick. Oh, well, not all of these work. They just say they work sometimes. Works sometimes. Sounds like me all through school. Yeah, sometimes he's doing it and sometimes he's just somewhere else. Okay, so next up, this item like I've never seen before, and this is also from Universal Studios. This is like one of those things that like spins and lights up, and it's like, you know, kids are freaking, again, having the kids rave party at the Universal Studios. But when they sent me a picture of this one, they said like, oh, it's really scratched up. I don't know if you want this one too. And I was like, yeah. So I took those shots. I went on Google Image. I could not find anything on it. I tried looking it up. I even put it in a SpongeBob group chat that I'm in with a bunch of other SpongeBob collectors, and none of them have seen this before either. So it's just kind of like one of those weird items that was kind of lost in time, pun intended. Again, it is unfortunate it's so damaged, but still a really neat piece, and you know, like there may not be many, if any, of these around still. And then also this weird SpongeBob projector was in here. This is like yellow label era, I think. It's got a couple slides in, but the slides look like very like generic, like, you know, like just some really modern pictures of SpongeBob. Probably was like a Five Below style item like back in the day, but interesting nonetheless. And then after that, unfortunately, we're getting towards the end here. We just have these bags that look like they're mostly filled with, this one's like a bunch of SpongeBob greeting cards here. These are Valentine's Days here. I do love the many faces of SpongeBob stickers there, but these are just like meal toys, and I think these are from Burger King, and they again are some of the like early, I want to say the first set ever was from Wendy's, but maybe it was Burger King. But they're all sealed, which is cool. I don't know if it's a full set here or just like some of them. Some of them are newer, some of them are older. There's a couple like weird odd items in here that are like not meal toys, like these SpongeBob figures here. These are from 2000 as well too, 2000 flat. So we got Squidward there, a really good figure of Patrick, and also one of SpongeBob. They're so well made. Like, look at that freaking, for the size, that is unbelievably accurate for SpongeBob. I don't even know what these are from. They look like they could be like board game pieces, but they're from Flying Colors, another brand that did a lot of the first wave SpongeBob stuff. So 2000, these are some of the earliest SpongeBob like mini figures there. The Patrick bendable figure, which I think also is by Flying Colors. You can see that there, but I'm gonna look into where those figures came from. I'm pretty interested. And then also this SpongeBob 2001, is this a SpongeBob like page saver? Like where you put like the page that you're reading in between that and you put it in the book, and that way you know where you were, kind of like a bookmark essentially. But where did this come from? I don't know. Like it looks like it could have been like a throw-in like in a cereal box, but I'm not 100% sure. Is there any more weird loose items like that? No, I think the rest of this is just all like Burger King toys. I mean, they're really good quality ones. We do not get toys like this nowadays. Being the example, like look at how good this freaking Sandy is. Like it's a great figure, plastic dome, the jellyfish versus these stupid freaking cups that we got at Burger King this year, last year. You know, we don't get like mechanical good quality toys anymore. Now we just get like plastic molds of stuff because I guess mechanics are too expensive at this point. Like the stuff that we got for free in meal toys back in the day now are like $5, $10 items essentially. But that is pretty much it for the haul. You guys let me know, what was your favorite item that we checked out today? I already know my favorite. These are some awesome items, but without a doubt, it is the plushies for me, and of course the SpongeBob VHS in German. And I'll also add as an honorable mention, I will add the SpongeBob shampoo, but this and this undoubtedly take the cake. So I did all the price checking on everything, and I cannot believe some of the value on some of the items. Like I know that these Patrick bendable is pretty, you know, rare, but I didn't think 25 bucks rare, and nor did I think that the freaking Sandy, there's like 40 bucks, but honestly, the only one that's like perfect condition and has a tag, and that didn't have a tag on it, and that one didn't even have a tag on it. So like with a tag, I'm saying probably like 60, 70 bucks. There's only one listed that has a tag on it, and it's asking 90 bucks. It has like 17 watchers. So a lot of people agree with me, I think, that this Sandy is probably one of the best of all time. Nor did I think any of these meal toys were like $10 to $15 each, but heck, man, like a lot of SpongeBob stuff is getting way more pricey than I ever thought that they would be. So we destroyed our total value by quite, I mean, just with the freaking, like the Burger King toys, we destroyed our value. I couldn't be happier to pick up these lots. Big shout out to all of you guys for supporting the show. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. And if you want to support this show further, you can join our Patreon or become a member right here on YouTube. And that helps keeping this show going for many years to come, and it truly means the world to us. And you also unlock bonus videos you can only get here as a member or on Patreon, where on Patreon you also get extended versions of every video that I upload here on YouTube. You can also check out my Whatnot stream. All of that is down below and helps keep us sailing over these Bikini Bottom seas. Thank you so much to all of our Patreon and Whatnot and YouTube members already. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in this video right here that I know you're gonna love. It's the newest video on this channel. And as always, Rep Pack, I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Adios and bloop!